Poor thing. She's being so brave.
Yeah, Tom's been even braver. The stiff upper lip thing does more harm than good. I think I'd be happier if he cried, broke down, anything, but he's just gone into himself.
He was the same when my mum died.
Got right through to the funeral before he cracked.
It's really got to him, hasn't it? I mean, you heard him last night. All those lads in photograph, picked off one by one like he's waiting his turn next. It's not good, is it? And in his position, I think I'd start getting a bit paranoid.
Oi, Sid!
What can I say?
Well, nothing would be best. Said you'd had the skin full. You know, we've all been there. Come on to a mate and then regretted it, so just forget it ever happened.
I can't. I meant it, Jazz. Every word.
You're a nice bloke, Sid. But when I said I was over Carl, I was being a bit economical with the truth.
You still want him back?
Well, I can't lie to you now, can I?
But what if you didn't?
Who knows? You're a damned attractive fella.
Dad, look, if I hadn't got myself into trouble, you and Bob would have never fallen out in the first place.
He knows I'd give my life up for my kids. I stood up for my son. What's the crime in that?
No, I appreciate that, but now it's all blown over.
I don't call a 12-month suspended sentence blown over.
You could try and make it up to him.
I have been willing to put my own hurt aside and fly the white flag, but he's having none of it.
Really? Because, you know, you can be a little bit, well,
Well, what?
aggressive.
I'm trying to deal with the situation, Scott. OK?
What is that?
It says on the box that the spider is sucked up in that by this vacuum. And then you can relocate it unharmed. And seeing as Bob has abandoned his position, I thought I'd better make alternative arrangements.
Are you serious?
I'm going to have to face it, Scott. He could stop this nonsense any time, but he won't because he doesn't want to, which can only mean that he doesn't love me anymore.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Olympic marathon runners stoke up on pints of lager.
Think of it as preparation, Bob. It's to fortify me for the rigours ahead.
Special delivery for Mr. Woods.
Oh, aye. Been ordering them mucky movies again, have we, eh?
Don't mind me.
What the hell does she think she's playing at? I wouldn't give the swine house room, far less let them invest.
Who?
I'll swing for the conniving little runt.
Look, I did try and dissuade her on your behalf.
What, you didn't think of telling me?
Oh, come on, it's man and wife stuff, is that?
What?
This is from a building society instructed by a certain Scott Windsor. Looks like he wants to invest in my house. Well, at least in Dawn's part of my house, which she hasn't even got yet.
I was thinking about you last night.
That's funny, because I was dreaming about you.
Oh. And one of the things I was thinking was maybe I should...
2 steak, medium rare, table 5, 1 chips, 1 salad, because apparently she's on a low-carb diet, like I give a toss. What?
So, your magazine will be in next week, Mum.
Magazine? Yes, thank you.
Yeah, see ya.
It's a bit above and beyond, isn't it?
Well, she's very conscientious, is Donna.
Who's been mauling you?
You what?
I know a handprint when I see one. Your posterior, Donna. And what's in your hair?
I spilled some talc earlier. This stinky stuff you never use.
Well, come here, I'll get it off for you.
No, it's all right. I'll be back in a minute.
Thank you, Viv. And if you care to keep your eye on the local news, you might just see a local celebrity switching on Hotton's Christmas lights.
Well, couldn't they get anybody decent then? I heard they were after Dale Winton.
Oh, it's a disgrace that a businessman of questionable moral standing should be allowed to head a civic ceremony.
Well, it's just as well the powers that be don't agree with you, isn't it? Season's greetings to you, ladies.
I agreed about the house so that she'd have a roof over her head. Not so she could move in a fancy man.
Probably just a practical thing to help her out with a mortgage. But she's hardly awash with cash herself, is she?
Well, why didn't she come to me?
I'll let you ponder that one over the next half a mile.
Morning.
We just got the house how we wanted it. Of course, I'd have been looking forward to retirement for the last 10 years.
The doctor told him to slow down, to cut out the drink. But you know how stubborn he can be. Could be.
The night before, he insisted we stayed up until we polished off the old bottle.
Just look what it did for him. Oh, Tom, you must take this as a warning. You're marrying this young girl.
And I know what you think about her.
Tom, just take care. Slow down and enjoy the life you have while you can.
I've tried talking to her. She doesn't want to know. The word Bob seems to bring her out in a rash at the moment.
But you have finally admitted that this is all your fault.
She wasn't too keen on the court case, no.
Or why you got arrested. Look, this is all down to you, so you're going to have to sort it out, I'm afraid.
Are you sure they even want to get back together?
Can you imagine a Bobless Viv or a Vivless Bob? They're made for each other. We've just got to remind them, that's all.
Right, well, we need to stage a two-pronged attack.
So I clear up the mess that you've made. No way, Scott.
No, I speak to Mum, you speak to your dad, and we can find some way of banging their heads together, but I need your help. Huh? What do you say?
Oh, don't get me wrong. It's good not to have to shove him off the settee in the morning.
So it's not leaving?
Eh? No, he's packed his bags and gone. Shook my hand and went off in his van.
Oh, the daft git. I told him not to bother about last night.
Huh? Hey, what about me pint?
We need to work as a team, and I can't do that until I've heard you say you're sorry.
If that's what you want me to say, then I'm sorry.
Worthless unless you mean it.
I mean it.
So you're sorry for all that you've put me through, the police, all that?
I shouldn't have dragged you into it. And if I hadn't, then you never know, we might still be together.
Well, you did, and we're not, so get used to it.
I like you, you know. I miss you, even. No, I do, really. And I would still like to buy into the cottage if you can stand to be with me.
Well, just friends, that's all.
Yeah? Yeah, if we can stay mates after all we've been through, I'm sure Mum and Bob can, eh?
If we can do anything, just call.
Thank you.
Take care, Helen, won't you?
You know where we are, love.
Seems totally out of it. Yeah, well, I got her to take one of Roger's sedatives. Thought she might get some rest in the car that way.
Every time I've opened my mouth, I managed to say the wrong thing. I mean, what do you say to someone whose husband just dies like that?
I thought you'd be better briefed than most.
Yeah, well, to be honest, don't sink in for weeks, days. And no matter what they say, you know, whenever you pick up that phone, you still expect to hear the voice. Never gets any easier. Tom?
I'm fine, I just need a minute.
Edna.
You've decided to burn your bridges, I hear.
Well, nothing from me here, is there?
I can't condone your behaviour. Whatever the provocation, our Lord tells us to turn the other cheek.
Yeah, I know, and I regret it.
Well, I hope things work out for you.
Couldn't turn out much worse, could they?
Keep strong, Sid. Don't be led astray so easily. You need to put down roots, young man. Find yourself a nice young woman.
I'll try my best.
Goodbye, then, and do keep in touch.
Bye.
Oh.
Nice.
It takes backbone to realise when you've outstayed your welcome.
Yeah? Well, it's about time we sussed that one out.
He's not cowering behind his mother's skirts. At least he's had the courage to admit his mistakes and move on. And if you were half the man that he is, you'd be doing the same.
Oh, come in. I'll be up in a minute, Alan.
How is he?
Oh, well, he doesn't feel like getting up today. And after all he's been through, who can blame him?
There you are. I've been looking for you.
Hello, love. There's no harm in putting my house in order.
Well, is there anything I can do to help?
No, thanks, love. I'm best on my own at the moment. I've got enough going on in my head without having to deal with other people.
Are you going out?
Yeah, I'm going somewhere where I often find myself when I've got something on my mind. Get myself together. Listen, do us a favour, will you? Tell the rest of them to leave me alone for a bit, will you?
As our elected representative, his behaviour should be beyond reproach.
Oh, we're talking Harry Pollard here.
Yes, well, the council have appointed him to turn on the Houghton Christmas lights this very evening.
Well, let's hope they haven't earthed them properly and he gets the shock of his life.
Oh, give me one good reason why I should even share the same oxygen as that woman.
Look, if me and Scott can manage to work things out...
Oh, yeah, well, that makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Of course you want to be friends with the convicted bound assaulter of ex-convicts, the seducer of schizophrenic lesbians, the man who got you into no end of trouble with the police.
Look, it wasn't much fun at the time, but we've been adult about things and talked things through.
What was there to talk through? He used you. If he'd have had his own way, you could have ended up in prison.
But I didn't, did I? Look, feelings were running high at the time, and it got out of hand.
Yeah, now you're cosy co-homeowners with knobs on.
Me and Scott have worked things out and talked about things. Why not give Viv another chance?
There is as much chance of the sky raining haddock as there is of me and my wife ever sharing a bed again.
We can't spend the rest of our lives sneaking around the cricket pavilion. I think we should come out as a couple.
Oh, you do you?
Yeah, and if you're worried about what people might think, Katie and Eccles are made for each other.
Hang on, whoa. You told Katie?
If I hadn't, I might have exploded. I know we agreed not to Marlon, but now we've started, you could tell Paddy and Emily, and then we could snog in your house.
I've already told them.
And I've seen Emily in the shop every day. She's not even batted an eyelid. What do they reckon?
What, that we're made for each other. But, we're just gonna have to hope that your mum feels the same way.
Excusez-moi?
Your magazine will be in next week, Marlon.
Magazine, thanks.
Yeah.
I just wish he'd had the guts to talk to me first.
Well, she's probably just trying to put off the inevitable.
You mean she reckoned I'd go through the roof?
If I hadn't pushed you so hard, you'd still be foaming at the mouth.
You think I'm being unreasonable, don't you?
Terry, if you remember, you were strongly advised not to hand over your half of the house, but you went ahead and did it anyway.
Well, that was just so that she could stick around. I'd be able to watch TJ grow up.
Yeah, exactly. So what's changed?
I just don't want him thinking that drip of water's his dad.
Well, that's not going to happen if you're living across the road, is it? Look, just be glad she can afford to stick around. Come on. Last one back by dinner.
Then there's the post-switch-on celebrations, champagne reception at 6, prompt, followed by dinner and dancing and carriages at 12.
Oh, the stuff of dreams, eh?
Yes, and who's footing the bill? Us, I suppose, from our council tax.
I'll have a bottle of that red wine that Alan likes, please, Bob.
Planning to carry on where Steph left off. Only she single-handedly increased our out sales by 100% while she was in homicidal mode.
If that is an attempt at humour, it fell dead on its feet. Oh, you should hear that poor man in the early hours. He's waking himself up with these nightmares. Thought a glass or two might settle him down.
Then if I were you, I would go with a bottle of white. Less unpleasant associations.
Look at him. Just look at him. The effrontery of Bill Clinton and the brass neck of Jeffrey Archer. Well, at least that one got his just desserts in the end. Ooh. Bragging about the lavish celebrations that the council have planned. All paid for by us.
Edna, the world is falling apart, and you are obsessing about Eric Pollard. All you can do is vote with your feet at the next election.
Oh, I've no intention of waiting that long. Direct action, that's what they call it these days.
Yeah, well, if you're thinking of letting his tyres down, you can certainly count me out.
I'm just wondering if the council are fully aware of his illegal activities. If not, they will be by tomorrow morning. It's time the little woman took a stand.
Pint, please, Bob.
Yeah, of anything as long as it's water.
Guess what I got on the post this morning?
Yeah, I know, Dad said. And I'm sorry. I meant to tell you, but I just kept putting it off, and you shouldn't have found out like that.
You're damn right I shouldn't.
You're making me nervous, Terry.
Why's that?
Well, you find out Scott's buying into the house, and you just stand there.
Well, do you want me to do some ranting and raving, make more of a show of it?
No, of course I don't. But I know you don't like him.
I didn't think you'd have much time for him either after what he's done.
You know, they've made up. Just good friends again, aren't you, John?
I thought you might have had more sense, but it's your life. If you want to spend it with a no-mark like him, it's up to you.
And you seriously don't mind?
As long as he keeps his distance from my lad. I don't have much choice, do I?
After what she's done, the song is Stand By Your Man, Scott, not grass him up to the police.
Well, if me and her can sort it out, then surely you and Bob can.
Oh, no. Not unless he comes here, prostrates himself and grovels for the rest of his life. He won't even get the privilege of an audience with me. Understood?
Hi, Mum.
What?
Marlon?
Any chance of a cup of tea?
Do you know, I finally put him to sleep and Tom's disappeared on me. I think he needed to go and get his head together. Oh, yeah, right. Do you reckon he's maybe, walk down to the pub?
I think he's gone to Mary's grave.
Oh, terrific. I mean, mouldering around a flaming graveyard talking to his dead wife's really going to cheer him up, isn't it?
You're right, he shouldn't be on his own.
Yeah, but saying that on the other hand, I mean, Tom's so old-fashioned about showing emotion, isn't he? Well, if he wanted me, he knew where I was.
You know what, right now, I think he could do with your support.
Yeah, you're probably right. Cheers, Sadie.
Scott and Dawn?
On speaking terms. Purely on a platonic basis, apparently.
Is that good or bad?
A disaster. She is a living, breathing Venus mantrap, either leading my boy astray or seducing men old enough to be her grandfather.
You know, it wasn't that all bad, was it? Was it the age gap thing?
Given the opportunity, an older man goes for a younger woman every time because he thinks it'll be years before he has to put up with cellulite, spreading nits, and the menopause.
It's not always an issue, though, is it? You know, I mean, it can be a beautiful thing. You know, a meeting of minds.
You've been talking to Tom King? What is it you wanted again?
Oh, I was on a break. Best get off.
See you then.
Cheers, that, you know, for putting us up on that.
Hey, anytime, son.
When, I got these for Lisa.
Hey, thanks. Oh, Marlon.
I was ready to murder you. I thought you'd legged it without saying goodbye.
Just had some things to sort out before I left.
Look, promise me you'll keep in touch.
Of course I will. Hey, you're going to be coming over to go clubbing, remember?
I'm going to miss you so much.
But not enough, eh?
I'm sorry.
I meant it, you know. I love you, Chess.
I know.
You deserve better than Carl King. Remember that.
Oh, is that...
Hey, he's only going to Manchester, love, not New Zealand.
It's a bit disrespectful, isn't it? Sitting on top of Maud Elizabeth Murray.
You tracked me down then, eh?
Look, I'll go if you want me to. I needed to see you were okay, that's all.
Come here. Mary would have liked you. She was a feisty lady as well. Never afraid to voice her own opinions.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Mind you, she wouldn't approve of me running around with a girl that's less than half my age, I can tell you that.
Tom, we've been through this age thing. You know it's not a problem for me.
I'm an old man, Charity. I may not have many years left in me. I could drop dead just like Roger. Or I could be struck down with a stroke, a seizure, cancer, senility.
Yeah, and you could get mowed down by one of your wagons tomorrow.
No, what if it happens after we're married? You could be signing up for a lifetime as a carer as well as a wife.
Listen, Tom, Roger's dead. And I am really sorry. That don't mean to say you have to put your own life on hold, does it?
Now, you're bound to think like that. You're a young girl. You've got all of your life stretched out in front of you. I'm on the last lap. I just isn't fair to both of us. Maybe you'd be better off without me.
Tom,